always join two statements. So that's the problem here, right? This horseshoe is not joining something to the left. The tilde, on the other hand, never joins two statements. Okay, the tilde never joins two statements. And so while this is not well formed, right, if you look at the next one, this would be number 3 there. I'm not going to write the whole thing on the screen, but you have E tilde F as the first part of that. This is not well formed. The tilde never joins two things. We're left wondering, well, we're talking about E dot tilde F, E wedge tilde F, E horseshoe tilde F, or E triple bar tilde F. We don't know. And so that's not well formed. Okay. I'm going to continue then to number 4, and we'll maybe just do a couple more of these here so you can get the point. But looking at number 4 there, let's see. I'll go ahead and write it on the screen here. Got off the top of the screen maybe a little bit. At any rate, you can see it there. And people have questions about this usually. There's a lot going on here, certainly. But what people tend to have the most concern about is this section right here. Tilde, parenthesis, tilde C horseshoe U. And that causes some people concern. They think maybe that's not well formed. So if that's causing you concern, here's what I would ask. A statement within it, tilde C horseshoe U. This statement right here. Is this well formed? Yes, it is, right? It's saying if C isn't true, then U is, right? So a statement like, if the Seahawks don't win, then they're out of the playoffs or whatever, right? So that makes sense, in other words. That's a well-formed formula. So then when we put parentheses around this and a tilde out in front, all we're doing is we're simply saying that that statement inside here, this is a lie. This is a lie in here. What's really going on here is that tildes tend to throw people off, or they make them a little nervous, right? So here's an important point to recognize. Okay. Tilde A is a perfectly well-formed formula. A isn't the case. But in symbolic logic and propositional logic, to write tilde tilde A is also a perfectly well-formed formula. Now, what this would say is something like, so if A was Everett is in Snohomish County, this would be a statement like, it's not the case that it isn't true that Everett is in Snohomish County. And of course, you're thinking, wait a minute, that's confusing. I understand it's confusing. But logically speaking, it makes sense. You might be thinking at the same time, it's not the case that it's not true that Everett is located in Snohomish County. Doesn't that simply mean Everett is located in Snohomish County? The answer is yes, in a few weeks. Okay, so there's a little joke in there, but the idea is when we get to chapter 6, we will learn a rule that allows us to take two tildes like this and get rid of them, because essentially, logically speaking, they mean the same thing. But until we have that rule, called double negation, as we'll see, till we have that rule, two tildes, they're just fine, and they will still be just fine when we get to chapter 6. But they're just fine. They're, logically speaking, well-formed. In fact, 3 tildes are well-formed as well. 4 tildes and on. There's no limit to the number of tildes we could have. They're all well-formed formulas. Now, having said all that, don't attempt tricks like this in your English classes, right? English instructors do not like to see double negatives, so be aware of that. But in logic, at least, a statement like that is perfectly well-formed. All right, let me just cover one more here, and then we'll move on. And that would be number 8 in this same list. And if you look at number 8, it has M, parenthesis, N horseshoe Q, wedge, C dot D, right? And the funny thing, the mysterious thing is this M here, right? And so what is that M doing there? Well, the M isn't connected to the rest of this. And so, in fact, that's not well-formed. We would need to have something going on in between the M and the rest of this to make it well-formed. And, of course, not only that, but we need to have extra parentheses in there as well to make that a well-formed formula.